Hello, my name is Brian, and today I am talking about how you can stop your divorce. Can I stop my divorce? Have you been asking yourself that question lately? It's a hard question to answer because every situation is so different. In many cases, can I stop my divorce can be answered, yes, for at least a while. Divorce lawyers do have a booming business. Over half of marriages end in divorce. Have you ever wondered why that number is so high? Is it because too many couples get married too quickly before they really know what they're getting into? Are they asking, "Can I stop my divorce?" practically before the last piece of wedding cake is wrapped? Are people marrying too young? These things might seem like pat answers, but when you consider that many couples who have been married for 20, 30 and 40 years are getting divorced too, it seems to eliminate the more frivolous marriages and divorces like those we see among starlets and stars. No, usually when you wonder, "Can I stop my divorce?" it's not because you married too young or because you're in a marriage that was doomed from the start. It's just that you've grown apart from your spouse. On one hand, that's good. It means you've grown, and generally a married person needs to be in a caring, nurturing marriage to grow. On the other hand, it's all too easy to grow in such a way that we feel a bit isolated from our spouse, as if they don't know a certain part of us that we might like to keep private. When one spouse grows and takes on new interests, it can cause that disconnect between the spouses. Sometimes there's jealousy and envy that a spouse is succeeding while the other feels inadequate or cheated in some way. Marriage counseling is the recommended treatment for such feelings. Until or instead of counseling, though, you can try to take an interest in something that your spouse does apart from you. You'll quickly discover if the gap between your activities is the problem. If your spouse isn't thrilled about your interest, then let it go. He or she considers that particular activity to be me time for them. On the other hand, if your spouse seems very enthusiastic about you getting involved, maybe that was part of the problem all along. He or she wanted to include you but didn't know how to go about it, or didn't think you would be interested. Show genuine interest and ask questions without overdoing it, unless you are genuinely excited by the topic. Engage your spouse in conversation about the interest. Be affectionate as you're talking by putting a hand on his, her arm or shoulder. Since you're wondering, "Can I stop my divorce?" you're going to want to do everything you can get to things on your side. You're in rescue mode, so no matter how disinterested you might be in your spouse's hobby, don't let it show. And while you're wondering, "Can I stop my divorce?" don't forget that your spouse might turn around and ask you about your hobby, too.